welcome to a new 6th Gen Farmer video. Today I'm going to be spraying my cornfield. So not only am I putting some pre-emerge down, I'm also going to be putting some fertilizer down with the old Hi-Cycle. And you know, I thought now that I'm on my own, I'm going to be more transparent with you guys. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what it costs me to do this operation here today. So since the last spraying video you guys saw, well, the first video was kind of a disaster. I had a lot of issues with my sprayer. I kept breaking stuff off. Since that video, I have gone through, I have found a few leaks, I fixed a few things, and then I also replaced my flow meter with a newer one because I don't know if that old flow meter was quite accurate. So we should be 100% ready to go, but this is going to be interesting because the last field I had planted and I had rolled it, so it was a nice flat field and I was still bouncing over the place. This field was ripped last fall and it hasn't been touched since. So if I thought that flat field was bumpy, I can't imagine what we're going to experience here today. The one thing I will say about this old sprayer, even though it has no suspension and a small tank and a 60-foot boom and it's too light in the front end, it does start up every time immediately. I have also made some repairs to my tender trailer since the last video as well. So last video my transfer pump wouldn't run, so I took it apart, see if I can clean the carburetor out, but as I started taking it apart, it looked like a couple things were maybe missing. So I just went and bought myself a brand new Honda transfer pump, 2-inch. I think it was like 550 bucks. Honda's a fantastic brand. I mean, it's way better than all the Chinese brands that come out with their little small engines. And it runs perfect. I don't have to worry about it. So got that. Then I also got my meter connected right here, so I can actually use my induction cone. So not only am I going to have faster filling, but I'm going to have more accurate filling. And yeah, that's about it. So of my two tanks, my back one has, I don't know, 500 gallons of water in it at the moment, but the front one has my fertilizer. So I'm going to be spraying 32% on this field, so roughly 70 pounds of nitrogen per acre, plus there's 160 gallons of thiosulfate. So 160 divided by, I think it's like 37.2. So 4.3 gallons per acre of ATN or thiosulfate. So if I come up here, if I can turn this valve on, it's really hard to do. I might have to go grab my ladder. Okay, fertilizer tank is now open. Then I'm also going to be spraying this Corteva Keystone LA NXT. It's basically the exact same thing as Harness Extra. I mean, it is the exact same thing as Harness Extra, just this was cheaper because I bought some Corteva Pioneer soybean seed. So then I got a discount on any Corteva chemicals that I bought. So with a discount, this ended up being a fair amount cheaper. So before I get into the pricing, in terms of mixing this tank, it's going to be extremely easy because my fertilizer dealer already mixed together my 32% and my thiosulfate. So that's already mixed together, don't have to add anything there. All I have to do is add 4.9 gallons of my Keystone chemical and then fill the rest of the tank up with fertilizer, and that's my mixture. So with my meter, I can get exactly 4.9 gallons in there, make it really easy. I really got to install a metal plate on my wall so I can magnet my GoPro to it and you guys can actually see what I'm doing without having to try and balance my camera. It's kind of difficult. I'm gonna crouch, because if I stand up, I look like this. I'll crouch and fill my chemical tank. Okay, let's get the 4.9 gallons in my induction cone. 7, 8, Why are we leaking so much? Let me fix that. Fixed it. Woo. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm taking 320 gallons divided by 24.5 gallons per acre. I should be able to do about 13 acres per fill. 37.2 divided by 13 is 2.8 fills, so I won't quite have a full third tank. So perfect, that makes it pretty easy. I'll look for 13 acres on my monitors. I think I'm ready to go. Engage auto steer. I want to make sure my speed is correct before I actually turn the boom on. Yep, right on. I decided to go really slow because last time going fast on the headlamps ended with me breaking multiple nozzles. I really don't want to do that today all that badly, so we're just going to take it slow. It's a 37-acre field, nice and easy. Okay. Thing about the ATU is that it will auto steer itself into a corner. Love it. Here we go. So at the beginning of the video, I promised you guys that I would tell you what it costs for me to spray this first pass in my cornfield. So today I sprayed 3 different products, a mixture of fertilizer and pre-emerge chemical. These 3 products were UAN 32%, which is a liquid nitrogen fertilizer, ATS or ammonium thiosulfate, which has both nitrogen and sulfur in it, and lastly, Keystone LA NXT, which is a pre-emerge herbicide or a chemical that prevents weeds from germinating. For the UAN 32%, I purchased 751.2 gallons at $1.82 per gallon, which in total is $1,367.18. I then purchased 160 gallons of the ammonium thiosulfate at $1.60 per gallon, which is $256 total. And lastly, of the Keystone LA NXT, I purchased 14 gallons at $34.08 per gallon, which totals $477.12. Add everything up and I'm at $2,100.30 or $56.46 per acre on 37.2 acres. However, I'm not done yet. I still need to side dress 120 more units of 32% and spray post herbicide and maybe pass a fungicide as well, which we can dive into in a future video if you guys like to see this type of information. So let me know down below if you would like to see me make more videos explaining the cost behind the operations of what I'm doing on my farm. So I finished my first tank and it came out absolutely perfect. I have the perfect amount of acres done for the amount I put in, so that means that a flow meter is good. The one thing I'm very glad is that I have an older sprayer for stuff like nitrogen, because spraying 32%, anything that 32% touches corrodes super fast, or rust super fast, and there's a nice film of 32% all over the sprayer. Oh crap, I missed turning my boom on. Whoops. Let us back up here. My next video is going to be me picking rocks. There's a ton of them on this field. Just ran over one. But, so this is something that my family has never really done in the past. We've never broadcast sprayed nitrogen before. I guess last year we did do some in front of the field cultivator, but never really with the sprayer. And the reasoning is that typically we have used anhydrous ammonia in the past. So anhydrous ammonia you put on in the fall, and then that was kind of all we did for the rest of the year, unless we wanted to side dress some more nitrogen, in which we would use our anhydrous ammonia side dressing. Now, I'm going to try and stay away from anhydrous ammonia. The reason is that, first of all, it is a very, very good source of nitrogen, but the gas is really deadly and it's super dangerous to apply. I always wore goggles and gloves. I never wore a mask because I could never get one to seal right. So I usually just held my breath when I was trying to disconnect and connect tanks and whatever else. But it's not good for everything that's living in the soil either. It kills a lot of things in the soil. So I'm switching over to 32%, which is a liquid form of nitrogen. It is a little bit more expensive, but it doesn't kill every living thing that it touches. So, yeah, and a lot of people will put this on with the planter. They have a liquid system with the planter. I don't have a liquid system with my planter, so I'm having to spray it on over top. So I'm doing 70 pounds of nitrogen right now, and I'll come back and do 120 pounds of nitrogen later, and I'll side dress it. So I'm going to do two installations this year of 32%, and the reason I'm putting so much on is because this field is corn on corn. So last year the corn crop kind of depleted the nitrogen supply in the soil, so I'm having to add a lot more. The other thing that I'm really surprised about is how smooth this actually is. Now I'm only going 5.2, 5.3 miles per hour, but the ground is so soft, it's so mellow that the tires are just sinking in through all the ridges and everything. So it actually ain't that bad. It's actually much better than that rolled soybean field was, weirdly enough, which is something I did not expect at all. I just finished my second tank, so I got a partial tank here that'll finish the farm. This is going so much better than my first field of soybeans did. I was, that night, on the last video, I was ready to go buy a sprayer the next morning. A nice pull behind or something. But my dad was like, don't be an idiot. Just figure out what's wrong, fix it. You have 220 acres, you don't need a fancy sprayer. I said, yeah, you're right. And you know what? This is going so much better. It's still slow, but I'm getting the work done, and that's the important part. Cheaply. as cheap as I basically possibly can. Last tank. Honestly, Renault High Boys is pretty slick with the auto steer and with the rate controller connected to the monitor so I can see where I have and haven't sprayed. Is it slow? Yes. Is it cheap? Yes. Does it work? Yes. I'll take it for now. Would I eventually like to upgrade sprayers? Wow, I need a haircut ever so badly. Yeah, I want to get a nice pull behind or something, you know, get a Fast Ag Solutions pull behind sooner or later, but for now this works. You know, it maybe also help once I get the air conditioning working in this thing, if I can get it working. There is no AC, it's very hot in here. I should take this off, but basically done. But no, this ain't bad at all. Done. I'm gonna take the semi-truck back first. I'll probably come back and grab this and pressure wash it off tonight, so that way hopefully it doesn't rust out too bad. But look at this map. Look at that. That's what I just did. It's pretty neat. I don't know how many other John Deere high cycles out there got a G5 John Deere G5 display with a AgriGPS RTK receiver on the roof and an ATU 300 and an MTG with a rate controller connected to the monitor, so that way it all uploads to the cloud. And yeah, definitely way more money in technology. Probably triple the cost of the sprayer just in technology in this thing. But okay, I just need to like take a little breather, pack up the semi, head back to the shop.